Number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
I don't know if you've had this, but I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been offered, yeah. Oh, they're in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to.
For a 5-year period, every single movie that Kevin Hart did was a movie that had been on my desk. That all I had said was, just, can we take some of this step and fetch it shit out? And then I can do it. Like, it don't need to be overtly homosexual, because I'm not homosexual.
It seems Katt Williams has been warning us about Kevin Hart's questionable connections with Diddy for a long time. And it turns out he was spot on to sound the alarm.
For Kevin Hart, is it not about timing?
I think the thing is what Katt is saying.
Yes, sir.
That the opportunity that he passed on was because he wasn't willing to compromise his integrity.
This whole situation has been happening right under our noses for quite some time. But now Katt Williams is ready to spill the tea, and trust me, it's piping hot. If there's one thing Katt is known for, it's speaking out against the industry when it puts black men in shady, humiliating situations. That's why Katt seems to believe Kevin Hart might have sold out. Now, I'm not saying Kevin didn't earn his success. He's clearly worked hard. But it feels like there's more to his rise to fame than we realized. Kevin went from a rising comedian to one of the biggest stars in the industry almost overnight. The turning point, it seems to have been when he agreed to wear a dress on Saturday Night Live.
Hey, Wallace.
Before that, Kevin had always vowed he'd never wear a dress because he saw it as degrading to him as a black man. But after that moment, his career really took off. Makes you wonder what's been going on behind the scenes.
Wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh.
According to Katt Williams, Kevin Hart didn't just rise to fame through his charm and humor. Katt claims that Kevin accepted an offer that would make most people do a double take. And this alleged offer came from none other than Sean Diddy Combs, one of the most controversial and powerful figures in the entertainment world. This rumor has been a total culture shock for many, as it's hard to imagine someone living the glamorous life of the rich and famous while also getting involved in something so dark and secretive. Let's take a step back and see how this explosive rumor started. Katt Williams, never one to hold back his opinions, stirred up a storm when he accused Kevin Hart of doing the unthinkable, engaging in intimate relations with Diddy for money. And we're not talking about small change here. The rumor says Kevin was allegedly paid a whopping $50 million to get cozy with Diddy, all in exchange for a major career boost. It's a wild accusation, no doubt, but it didn't just come out of nowhere. Hollywood is full of illusions, and people often get caught up in it. The tension between Katt Williams and Kevin Hart has been simmering for years, and his latest accusation is just another twist in their long, complicated history. To really understand this Hollywood storm, we need to look deeper into how Diddy, Kevin, and Katt all ended up at the center of it. It's also important to note that Diddy has been facing some serious legal troubles lately. Once a titan in both the business and entertainment worlds, Diddy's recent indictments make it seem like he's running a criminal enterprise behind the scenes.
Now, the indictment against Sean Diddy Combs has just been unsealed. Combs is being charged with racketeering conspiracy, alleging he ran an enterprise, that he engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, or kidnapping, arson, and other crimes. He's also charged with by force.
Federal agents recently arrested Diddy linked to several serious allegations, including misconduct and potential exploitation. Many believe this could be just the tip of the iceberg, as Diddy's extravagant lifestyle has been under scrutiny for years. But things are getting even messier now that Kevin Hart's name is being dragged into the conversation. Before we dive into Katt Williams' shocking claims, let's rewind a bit and talk about Diddy's infamous parties. These gatherings have become legendary in Hollywood, known for their over-the-top luxury and questionable activities. These weren't just your typical celebrity get-togethers. According to various sources, these parties had a darker purpose. Diddy allegedly used them to exert control and influence over other celebrities. Some reports even suggest that attendees were pressured into compromising situations, all while Diddy sat at the center, orchestrating everything behind the scenes. And it's in this setting that Kevin Hart's name has come up. Recently, videos and photos of Kevin attending these notorious parties surfaced online, sparking a wave of speculation. One particularly viral video shows Kevin laughing with Diddy and Usher, which seems innocent at first, until you hear what Diddy says in the clip. Diddy jokingly tells Kevin not to sit on the bed, followed by a strange story about his past with Usher.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed.
Right here from day one, we used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes.
In another clip, Kevin Hart is seen laughing after a woman's hair catches fire at one of Diddy's infamous parties. While it may seem harmless at first, the incident, which involved candles in a hot tub, sparked outrage due to Kevin's casual reaction. Many saw it as an example of his questionable behavior at these events. Kevin didn't just jump in to help, but instead joked about the situation, saying, "That's what I call raw, dog. I'm used to this kind of thing, doing what I do best."
Doing what I do best.
Oh, shit! Oh, did the camera catch that? Got the camera! Got the camera off!
Although the video doesn't show Kevin doing anything illegal, his laid-back attitude, along with the fact that he was even at these controversial gatherings, added fuel to the fire. Then there's the bizarre moment where Diddy calls Kevin over, jokingly saying, "Yo, Kevin, come here, no homo. We're going to have a contest. Your breath be stinking sometimes." While it may have seemed like playful banter, it raised even more questions about what really goes on at these parties. And let's not forget Katt Williams. Katt has never been afraid to call out his peers in the entertainment industry, and his feud with Kevin Hart has been brewing for years. But this time, Katt didn't just take shots at Kevin's comedic abilities or his Hollywood persona. He went straight for the jugular, accusing Kevin of getting ahead in the industry by becoming romantically involved with Diddy. According to Katt Williams, Kevin Hart didn't just stumble upon fame by chance. Instead, Katt claims that Diddy used his influence and wealth to use Kevin, bringing him into his inner circle. Allegedly, Diddy offered Kevin a jaw-dropping deal, $50 million in exchange for becoming his lover and ally. But what makes Katt's accusation even more shocking is that he says Diddy offered him a similar deal, which Katt refused.
Who gonna turn down $50 million? Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did.
Katt insists that the reason he hasn't achieved the same level of mainstream success as Kevin isn't due to a lack of talent, but because he wasn't willing to play by Diddy's rules. He presents himself as someone who stood against Hollywood's alleged manipulation and corruption, even if it meant sacrificing his own career.
Yeah, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't, people say that, he lost $50 million. No, that's not even close to what happened to this dude. And until you understand what happened to the dude, you don't understand what happened.
Katt's claim has left many wondering, is there any truth to these accusations? Could Kevin Hart really have accepted such a deal? Or is this just more Hollywood gossip spinning out of control? It's worth noting that Kevin's rise to fame was rapid, and from the outside, seemed almost effortless. After years of doing stand-up, he suddenly landed major movie roles, big endorsement deals, and headlined sold-out shows worldwide. While Kevin's success appears to be the result of hard work, people like Katt Williams argue that such a meteoric rise doesn't happen overnight without some powerful help behind the scenes. In Hollywood, that help often comes with a price. There have always been whispers about who makes the right connections in Hollywood and what they had to do to get ahead. People have speculated for years, wondering if certain stars had to make deals behind closed doors. Katt Williams isn't shy about his views, and when asked if he's afraid of being blackballed again, he boldly responds,
"Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people."
These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people.
Kevin Hart, on the other hand, has always maintained that his success is the result of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. He's often shared stories about his humble beginnings and the grind it took to make it in such a tough industry. However, Katt isn't convinced. Katt Williams has always been vocal about his views on Hollywood, and he believes there's more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye. He claims that Hollywood tends to pick certain celebrities to elevate to stardom, while others are left on the sidelines. In Kevin Hart's case, Katt argues that his rise to fame wasn't entirely organic. Instead, Katt claims Kevin was handpicked by Hollywood's elite, specifically Diddy, who allegedly used his influence to make Kevin a household name. But Katt's accusations go even deeper. He alleges that Diddy's control over Kevin went beyond just boosting his career. Katt claims Diddy controlled every aspect of Kevin's life, much like how he allegedly controlled others in Hollywood. Rumors about Diddy's infamous parties and the compromising situations celebrities found themselves in have only added to the speculation. The accusations are wild, no doubt, but they've sparked a lot of conversation. And while the alleged evidence collected from raids on Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles include videos of these so-called freak-offs, it all fuels Katt's belief that something is wrong with how Hollywood operates.
Developing now, new details are emerging about the FBI raid on homes owned by rapper P. Diddy. Law enforcement sources telling ABC News the searches were part of a federal investigation. Federal agents searching the hip-hop mogul's homes in both Los Angeles and Miami.
Now remember when we mentioned that Kevin's rise to fame kicked off when he ended up wearing a dress, even though he said he wouldn't? Well, he's not the only comedian who faced this kind of situation. Several others have been offered the chance to wear a dress and take some serious heat, but these offers came with a price tag that's hard to ignore. It's wild to think about how many comedians have been pushed to cross those boundaries. Take Dave Chappelle, for example. He's one of the funniest guys around and has never been shy about speaking his mind. When he was asked to wear a dress, he flat out refused. He's all about knowing where to draw the line and protecting his brand. Chappelle believes that these pressures to wear a dress are just another way for the big shots in Hollywood to control black men. And honestly, it's tough to argue with him. If you think about it, it seems like way more black comedians get hit with these kinds of requests compared to white actors. That raises some serious questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Is it just a coincidence, or is there something deeper at play? Chappelle knows firsthand how it feels to be pressured by the industry. Back in 2004, he shocked everyone by walking away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. Instead of cashing in, he packed up and moved to South Africa for a couple of years.
2004, had a $50 million deal on the table, and in a crisis of conscience, flipped the table over and walked away. Went to South Africa. Everyone said I was running away from the money. That is not true. In fact, I still want that money.
The crazy part about this whole situation is that while Dave Chappelle was living it up in South Africa, the media went wild with slander, posting all sorts of crazy stories about him. But you all know Dave isn't the type to sit back and let people talk trash. So the moment he got back to the States, he jumped on Oprah's show to clear the air and set the record straight. During the interview, he talked about his contract with Comedy Central and revealed why he walked away from that jaw-dropping $50 million deal. Turns out, the contract was seriously messed up and had some shady conditions.
Everybody wants to know, why'd you walk away from $50 million?
Well, I wasn't walking away from the money.
Yeah.
I was walking away from the circumstances that were coming with the newfound plateau.
Dave went on to share that he was well aware of what entertainers often have to go through to reach that next level of success. He's been in show business since he was just 14. So, he'd heard all the stories and witnessed some of it firsthand. He pointed out the strange pattern in the industry, like when Mariah Carey scored a massive $100 million deal, but then, just 3 months later, she seemed to lose it all. Or how Martin Lawrence, after hitting it big, ended up on the street screaming about how people were after him. Those stories always pop up when the stars are on the brink of crossing into a new level of success.
It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me.
Okay.
When
you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories?
I mean, you see it before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Or Martin Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me."
Yeah.
When Oprah pressed him about the specifics of his Comedy Central contract, Dave revealed that they wanted him to create sketches that he felt were socially irresponsible. He believed they were trying to set him up to be the butt of the joke, aiming to make people laugh at him instead of with him, which goes against everything comedy is supposed to be about. And that's exactly what happened to Kevin Hart. After cozying up with Diddy, Kevin's career basically soared to new heights. It's like he flipped a switch. But going back to Katt and his explosive claims, he didn't hold back in calling out Kevin for what he sees as a lack of authenticity in his rise to fame. Katt was adamant that Kevin's success wasn't earned the old-fashioned way. He described Kevin as an industry plant, suggesting that he's been put on a pedestal by powerful white executives to fill a role in Hollywood that can be easily replaced. Combined with the scrutiny surrounding Diddy, it seems like everything is going downhill for the comedian. The timing couldn't be worse for Kevin Hart as he navigates this growing controversy. Currently on the road for his Acting My Age comedy tour, the star is grappling with how to handle the intense scrutiny without addressing the issue head-on. There's buzz that Hart himself is unsure about how this tour will play out because fans are eager to hear his take on the Diddy scandal, something he's made it clear he won't discuss. A source close to Hart shared, seeing Kevin navigate this is difficult because he's usually someone who always has something to say, but now he's become a man of few words. The Borderlands actor was recently cornered by reporters while heading to dinner at West Hollywood's Lava restaurant with his wife Aniko Hart. The Daily Mail wasted no time grilling him about his connections to Diddy and the infamous allegations. When asked if he ever saw the now infamous bottles of baby oil at Diddy's parties, Hart was quick to shut down the question. "When I hosted for Diddy, you're asking the wrong person, the wrong question," he retorted, clearly frustrated. The questions didn't stop there. When pressed further about whether Diddy would be safe in jail, Kevin repeated the same line, "Wrong person, wrong question," signaling that he wasn't about to be dragged into any more discussions about the scandal. The ongoing investigation into Sean Diddy Combs has sent shockwaves throughout the entertainment world. A federal indictment has painted a disturbing picture of the music mogul's alleged conduct since the 1990s. Prosecutors accused Diddy of mistreating, threatening, and coercing multiple victims to satisfy his intimate desires and protect his public image, all while concealing his dark secrets. During raids on his homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year, law enforcement discovered damning evidence of his long-rumored substance-fueled intimate parties, infamously called freak-offs. Among the disturbing finds were electronic devices containing images and videos documenting these events, which featured multiple victims. Also recovered were unmarked AR-15s, ammunition, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. As we wrap things up, it's clear that this whole situation with Kevin Hart, Katt Williams, and Diddy has become a major talking point. Honestly, it feels like there's so much more to this than just a few headlines. Katt Williams has been pretty vocal about how Hollywood works, and whether you agree with him or not, you have to admit he's raised some real issues. Think about it. Katt has been in the game for years, grinding and putting in the work. He's never been afraid to speak his mind, even if it ruffled a few feathers. And when it comes to his beef with Kevin Hart, it's not just some petty drama. Katt's always been saying that Hollywood is selective about who they push to the top. He's questioned why certain people get the spotlight while others, like him, seem to be left out. Is it really about talent, or is it about who plays by Hollywood's rules? Kevin, on the other hand, is a huge star. He's got sold-out shows, movies, and millions of fans. But with these resurfaced clips of him at Diddy's infamous parties, it's hard not to wonder if Katt was onto something all along. Why does Hollywood favor certain people? And at what cost? Are we just not seeing the full picture? Kevin has tried to brush off questions about Diddy's parties, but is it that simple? Can you just ignore that kind of stuff when it's blowing up everywhere? So where does that leave us? Should we be questioning who gets to make it big in the industry? Is it time to listen to voices like Katt's, who've been speaking out about these things for years? The entertainment industry is a complicated place, and it's becoming clear that success isn't always just about talent and hard work. What do you think? Is Katt right to call out the industry, or is he just bitter? And what about Kevin? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this has got you thinking, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's keep the conversation going. Subscribe for more updates and breakdowns on the latest Diddy news.